good people, it's Brittany, and today I am doing the Gilmore Girls book tag. I wasn't tagged by anyone, I just decided that this looked like a fun tag to do, plus I love Gilmore Girls, it's such a wonderful show. So let's get into the questions. The first one is Lorelai, a character with a sarcastic, witty sense of humor. I'm going with Mr. Kindly from Nevernight. Mr. Kindly is Mia's companion, and he's a shadow cat, and his one-liners are spot on perfect. And some of the things he has to say are just so funny and hilarious. They're perfect for comedic relief in the moment. The next one is Rory, your favorite classic, and I don't have one, but I am very excited to delve into the world of classics and find a favorite classic, but it's not something I typically read, and I want to do more reading of classics. The next one is Luke, a book you secretly love but are afraid to admit, and I don't do that. I love books wholeheartedly, and I never hide my love for them in any way, shape, or form. A book sometimes I neglect to mention that I've read are the 50 Shades of Grey series. I still mentioned it to some people, but it's not something I bring up in conversation like, oh yeah, hey, look, I read that series. The next one is Lane, a musical character, and this one took me a while until it finally hit me and it clicked that it would be Leah from Leah on the Offbeat. She plays drums and is in a band, so she's the perfect musical character, just like Lane. The next one is Dean, your first book love, either a character or a book you loved first. And I talk about the Daughters of the Moon series a lot, and that wasn't my first book that I loved, so I decided I would talk about my first book I love, which was Clifford the Big Red Dog. I read these with my dad all the time when I was little, and so they just hold a special place in my heart, and I know that I just love that series and Clifford so much. The next one is Sookie, a book you devoured. I'm going with The Chocolate Cure by Roxanne Sponek. It is a cute, fluffy, adult contemporary read all about a girl trying to give up chocolate and find love. The next one is Jess, a book you love but gets the most hate. This one was really difficult to find. I had to go through all of my Goodreads, and I still could not find a book that I rated more highly than most people, and I couldn't find a book that I read that got less than a 3.6 overall rating. So I went with Evermore by Alison Noel. I read these in high school, and I loved the first one, actually the first couple, but then I just stopped reading the series. I think as I got older I realized it wasn't so great. But in high school I really loved the first book, but I mean, looking back on it now, it's not something I would pick up again, and it gets pretty bad reviews on Goodreads. The next one is Miss Patty, a book that was ruined by the hype. I couldn't find this. Hype doesn't really ruin books for me. It does set me up maybe to be more disappointed, but I feel like the book itself is the one that lets me down and disappoints me, and not the hype. But the hype doesn't really ever, I think, get to me. The next one is Emily Gilmore, an expensive book, and this is the collector's edition of Name of the Wind that I got Ross, and this was definitely worth the price. It's got a pretty cover and sprayed edges. And the last one is Paris, an uptight character, and I am going with Prue from Charmed. And look, I just got these books. I'm so excited. Charmed is one of my favorite TV shows, and I'm excited to read these books, but Prue was always a bit uptight to me. That's all the questions. I'm not going to tag anyone because I don't know who's done this tag and who hasn't done this tag. But if you see this video and you want to do it, feel free and consider yourself tagged. As always, my social media links are in the description down below. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the bookish content that I put out. I'll see you guys next time. Bye!